Hey y'all, Thomas just called and wanted me to meet him outside. He and Roger went on a little road trip today, and I think I hear him coming around the corner now. Not sure what they're bringing in today, but we're about to find out. I hear something coming down the road. Can y'all tell what that is? Oh my gosh, y'all, that is a Camaro. Listen to it. Sounds so good. Z28 Camaro. Did you buy this for me?
No, Roger bought it.
Well, what's it doing here?
Yeah, we gotta put a headliner in it. It's dropping thumbtacks down my back and poking me. Somebody put thumbtacks in it to hold it up. And we gotta glue the back glass in it. Oh.
This is nice. So this is what goes on when you boys go on a road trip, huh? You come back with a toy. I was hoping it was mine.
You got a Camaro. Okay, you got, yeah, and a Corvette. But the back glass come unglued. So we gotta reseal it. That's no big deal, but
what's the big deal if it sits out in the rain?
yeah. But we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna put the air conditioning back on it and do a little bit of other work to it. It's an all-together car. Ain't in bad shape. 1977 model. And what's so cool, the guy's got the build sheet on it, prove it's a Z28. Got the Muncie 4-speed and all that, so.
Well, it looks like it's in good shape.
Yep.
It sounded good too, coming up the road. What'd you do, drop Roger off?
Yeah. Clean the motor up. He's got a list of, and this is a 2-owner car, well now 3-owner. So it's been taken care of.
It has.
But he said he wanted to paint it back to the original color. The original color was a little bit darker, had a little more black in it. This has got a bunch of white in it, makes it real silver. And he wants to put racing stripes on it, so we're gonna put racing stripes on it. We're not gonna do that right now. We're just gonna fix the headliner and glue the back glass in, and then he's gonna drive it the rest of the year to the car shows, and then this winter we'll get it and paint it. It's got a couple little places you gotta do body work on, but nothing major.
Not what I see. A little bit of popcorn rust down there in the bottom.
Yeah.
Down here.
But for right now,
nothing major.
glue the headliner in it and put it back in the road. Let's get all the headliner material and our glue up, and we'll bring y'all back in a few minutes.
Okay, we've got the Camaro pulled inside the shop so we can look it over a little better. We already know the headliner's got to be replaced. That's pretty obvious. It was held up with thumbtacks, as a lot of people use. So we're about to get some things together and get that replaced. Got the trim off of the back glass. We've got to take that back glass out, clean everything up, and re-glue it, because the top of it has leaked where it's become unglued before and just wasn't fixed. And as Thomas was driving this thing, those thumbtacks were coming out of the headliner, falling in the seat, poking him in the back, so he got acupuncture as he was driving it.
And this is never a good sign. When you can remove a back glass with your fingers.
Yeah, all we've done so far is just take the trim off of it.
Yeah, I had to duct tape it in to drive it home. But anyhow, just
a little maintenance.
Minor issue. Nothing major. This side may still be glued, no?
Oh my gosh.
It's right there, it's holding. That ain't holding no more.
Wonder how long it's been like that.
I don't know, but the glass guy told him that he would not reseal it for him because he was scared when he cut it out he would bust it.
Well,
but I got information for him. He never had a chance of that because it never was sealed.
That's right. Always have some duct tape with you. That stuff's good for everything. Hold it in windows in your vehicle. My daddy used to use duct tape
track to a
for everything.
Cassette changer. Well, first acupuncture I got was when we picked the car, or when we went to look at the car to test drive it. I stuck my fingers right here to shut the door, and that was the wrong thing to do.
Is that the thumbtack supply?
Because there was thumbtacks in there.
Oh, now they're going to be in your shoes.
And then, riding down the road, they would fall out of the ceiling and go right there. And then when you lean back, they'd poke you in the back.
What was that?
Poke you in the back. They'd poke you in the back.
I bet that's what you said when you was going down the road.
Oh, yes it was. Whoa, son.
Just not that word, probably.
Son of a mother, let's go. That's bad
Well,
for business.
We're going to get some
Thumbtacks. Stick them in the seats.
Stick them in the back glass. We're going to get some stuff together so we can take out this headliner.
What do we need? What do we need? What do we need? A Phillips screwdriver. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, he's almost finished taking the trim out. So as you can see, headliner is about to come out. Headliner board still up there. But once he gets those trim pieces taken out, then it'll be ready to come on out too. Got to get that dome light disconnected. So at least this one wasn't as messy as that Plymouth that we did. So we'll finish getting this taken out and get ready to put on the new material.
Alright, this is the headliner pan. Somebody sprayed contact cement on that side over there to try and get it to stay back up, but it didn't. The reason it didn't is because this fuzzy stuff you see right here is actually what's on the back side of the headliner material. So in order for it to stick back, you got to get all this off. And the simplest way I found to do it is just your fingers. You just rub back and forth and just hit ball up. And once you get all this off, you vacuum it off to make sure there's nothing left in these little crevices right here, because you see how it still balls up in there. And then once you get it all vacuumed off, then you apply the glue. But if you used to apply glue to that right there, you'll get what happened right there. All that does is just hardens it all up, and it won't leave nothing. We got a war-torn corner there, and it's on the hood of the car. It just so happens it was still stuck to the headliner. But we used some of our duct tape that we purchased to hold the.
Oh, my battery died in my flashlight. Sorry, y'all.
Back window in to hold the headliner together. So we'll finish this and we'll bring you back when we get it all cleaned up and show you how to apply the headliner.
Got the headliner material all laid out here after getting it vacuumed, so he's going to try to repair that corner over there that's broken. With some special headliner duct tape.
Yeah.
Special order. Just kidding, it's just duct tape. Just one of its many uses.
When you're repairing a headliner like this, you gotta let your duct tape or whatever tape you use lap over and roll it over the edge like so. Then when you glue the headliner to it, it makes it part of the headliner. I had scissors.
Oh, I thought you were finished. I put them over there.
I didn't have scissors no more.
Daggum assistant, you're gonna have to fire me. I might just fire myself.
You think you know that easy? Push it off me. Yeah, the thumbtacks kind of did some damage to the hood, the headliner, so I hope it don't show up too bad in the finished product. But nobody ever looks up anyhow, so that's what I never have understood. Everybody wants a headliner, but they never look up at it. That's like you can stick a horseshoe above somebody's door, and I guarantee you they walk through it 500 times before they ever recognize a horseshoe. It's gonna have little bumps in it like that, just because of the garbage that's on it from the glue. It won't all come off.
We even used a brush over there, wire brush, to try to get that sticky glue off. Still didn't work. It's just gummy, a gummy mess.
But it winds up lifting the headliner material itself, see? And that's no bueno. The easiest way to do this is take your headliner material and double it over itself. And the reason you want to do it this way, because you have to spray the contact cement on this. So if you had it like this, with your headliner showing, and you sprayed that, it's going to mist onto this, and you're going to ruin it. So if you totally cover itself up with itself like that, where you see the cover, then when you spray your contact cement, you'll be good. And 3M makes a cement that's low odor. That way when the sun shines on it, you won't smell it inside the car. And it's don't bleed through that material. but they bumped their head and they want $20-something for a can. So it just so happens that Hobby Lobby sells this stuff. And it's pretty much the same thing when I read on it. It's pretty much the same adhesive. Low odor, no bleed through. And what I mean by bleed through is when you spray this, that's not that thick. Even though it foams on there, it's not that thick. So if you use a super wet glue, it's going to bleed through that, and then your black headliner is going to be white. Or your tan headliner is going to be yellow. Or you get the picture. Don't have to keep on, but it bleeds through. So this is the most cost-effective way to do it. So let's get started. So what I always do, since the first thing you're going to touch is out here, is I let that be the last thing I spray. You can move it around, do what you want to with it. Because I'm going to get her, she's going to sit the camera down, and she's going to lift the headliner up. We're going to touch it here, and then I'm going to work my way that way. But if you sprayed that last, and when you roll the headliner over, this here would tack, and you would still have wet glue right there. So you want to work from this end out. So you want to start your seam first, spray to the end, seam, spray to the end, and then that way when you go to lay it down, that's already tacked. So you don't want to touch it, because once you touch it, it's there. But I guess you can touch it. You can do however you want to do it. There's many ways to skin a duck. But around all of your edges and around all of your openings, you want to spray a heavy coat. And try not to waste no more than just what you can. So this stuff here is $14.10. No, $14.99. But you half lap it. This has got a split in it right here. We're going to have to take and pull that split together like so. That way whenever it sits in the car and you tighten the sides down, it'll pull that split apart. So if you let it stay flat and you glue it together, whenever you pull the sides down, you're going to have a roll right there. And this stuff dries quick. It's been driving me to it. Okay, now we're going to do the, try and remove the finger from the lid deal. And I always like to spray my patterns different. That way whatever you didn't get on the headliner, this here connected together like a chain.
Okay, so I'm going to set the camera down for a minute and pick up the headliner material so we can get that half put on the board. Alright, well there's that side done. It's all glued in. So we just got to spray the adhesive on this side and get that glued down next. So just repeat the process that we did on the first half. It'd be a lot easier if that right there wasn't on the headliner board, but
beggars can't be choosers. We're just gonna roll with it.
at least you've got a board. The S10 we did for our son Devin, we couldn't find a headliner board for it. We checked everywhere, so we needed one for an extended cab. 93 S10.
Right there where it's peeled back, you just take and hit the glue to it and put it right back where it belongs.
Then when you get the glue on the back of the headliner and you're smoothing out the material, then it'll just
mold to itself.
Yeah, there's places that are peeled up back there. It'll just glue back when you're smoothing out the headliner.
One difference I see about this and 3M is the 3M you can stand way back off from it and it'll do a fatter pattern. This, if you stand off of it, it curls back to itself.
Smells just as strong as 3M.
I can't smell it, so wouldn't know. Thank you, COVID. Well, yeah, thank you, COVID. Took my sniffer away. So.
He never got his sense of smell back, so.
Now the kids could be young again. Now when they fart in the back seat, I won't be able to smell them. And spray a corner your underneath side, because when you wrap your material around, you got to be able to tack it to something. Oh. I think this can's about. See right here where my material's hanging over, but my headliner's back here, so if any gets on that, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. That's what I was talking about before.
Because that part's probably going to be trimmed off anyway.
Yep.
That's just the excess.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab this other can and get it all shook up. Alright, that side's done. So now he's just gonna trim some of the excess, and I guess are you just gonna glue it, fold it around to the back side of it, or are you gonna cut it off?
Yeah, spread the glue up on it. You find your corners and you cut inward, but you don't cut all the way to your corner, because if you do, it'll rip. Right there, you make a relief cut. There. And the rest of it, just cut the excess off. Alright, there's our corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut across the corner. Like so. Because if you don't, when you bring your two corners together, they'll pile up on top of each other. And I always like to leave about an inch, inch and a quarter. You ain't got to be precise, just as long as it's close. But always make note of where you're at, because if you cut into it, you've just had a bad day. But this is what I mean. If you take and you cut your corner square, like so, then whenever they come together, you'll have a pucker out there that you got to do something with. So if you take and you cut that off like that, then when you bring those two together, you no longer have a pucker. Perfect corner. Just a little tip.
The more you know.
That lets you really give a crap.
That's a good tip. Professional.
What about all that? Like I said, always locate your backboard before you just go all willy-nilly with your scissors.
You've done, I don't know how many headliners for all of our vehicles through the years.
Yeah. All right, now this is the inside corner. Right there. So what you want to do is you want to do your, whatever you want your hangover to be. All right, there's the corner, there's the backboard. Now you're going to cut inward to the corner, but you don't cut all the way. So I left about a 1/4 inch right there. And what that does is when you fold your corners in, it'll allow it to split, but it won't rip the fabric. All right, this has got little reliefs right there. And the relief right there. So what I got to do there is you take and you cut straight in to the relief. What I mean by relief, it's a little tab that sticks up right there. You cut straight in, and then you're going to cut a 45 both ways. What this does is that sticks behind your trim that goes around the top of the window. This side over here done stuck.
That glue works really good.
The price of it ain't too bad.
Mm-mm.
The can ain't as big as what 3M can is, but it'll do. But I always start right in the middle because this has got a belly to it. So I always start in the middle and start working my way out. Now I can't sew no more because of my arthritis. I can't pull the material, so now I'm gonna have to rely on somebody to do my sewing. See how that rounds out so nicely? Turned to a perfect corner. That turned to a perfect corner. Now in there I cut a little bit too long, but it'll work. Alright, come over here and do the other side, same way. And the only reason I back to lay mine like this is from the factory it was cut off even with the edge. So when it turned to loose, it had no other choice but to fall down. The trim wouldn't hold it up. But with this being bent over, when you put your trim on there, you sandwich the headliner in between the trim. So if it ever starts to bag, it'll just bag in the middle and it won't come slap out of the vehicle. It'll still hang on. And if the factory would have thought about that, there'd still be a bunch of cars running around with headliners on.
Don't cut that. We just fixed it.
Okay, you're going to cut this as a diamond or
A diamond?
pentagon or a
Trapezoid?
or something.
A rhombus? Is that what you was trying to stay away from a while ago?
Kukumanjian.
Bringing up the rhombus.
Y'all wasn't around when I sprayed glue on that, but I sprayed glue on it.
They were on break.
Yep.
Getting popcorn.
Let's get popcorn for the movies. All right then. Well, there's your headliner.
Looks beautiful.
So now the next step is putting it back in the car.
Installation.
But I'm gonna let it sit here and dry for a minute, because I'm gonna take some of this excess material where this corner was ripped out, and I'm gonna back lace it with some of that material. So we're not gonna stick it right in right this minute. We're gonna give it just a few minutes to gain its composure, and then we'll flip it over. But if I flip it over right now with the glue on it, whatever you lay it on, the glue will,
It'll form.
it'll form through the, so we're gonna let it sit here for a minute and lose its
Just let it dry a little bit.
memory of where it has been. You don't need to know where it's been, you just need to know where it's going. And that's where your sun visors go, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut them holes out. Well, that's done. So just as soon as we let it sit here and dry for a few minutes, we'll be right back with you. While we're waiting on the headliner to do what it's going to do, we're going to go ahead and take care of this situation. We ain't going to be able to glue it back in tonight because I don't have any glue. Well, what happened here was somebody didn't prime this with car primer nor any other primer, so the glue didn't stick. But whenever we was talking to the guy on the phone, I think I kind of had Mr. Roger wondering, because the guy said, oh, the back glass fell down in it. I said, okay. I said, is there any rust behind it? He says, no. He says, there's no rust there. He says, but it just slid down. Well, I've had this happen before, so I already knew what had happened without even looking at the car. And what's a dead giveaway of is when you see the urethane puckered up against the side of the car like that, what somebody did is they ran a bead, fat bead down through there, and they took something like a end of a putty knife, and they cut it off in a round circle, and they run it down through there just like you would cope out concrete around the edge, and they cope the urethane out. Well, if you don't mash the urethane out to where it spreads out evenly, then it don't seal. So the only thing that was touching the windshield, as you can see right here, was just a little 1/4 inch piece. Well, the car flexing, because this is a unibody car, that's going to give up. So that's what happened. In return, car twisted, urethane gave up, and here we are. But it's an easy fix. All you got to do is go to the store, get some urethane and some urethane primer. And we've got to replace these clips because somebody put plastic ones back in here with the metal ones, and they're different heights.
So by that window sliding down, of course that let water in there. So see what it did to the
Package tray.
Yeah, and the speakers. But he must have kept this inside, or it would have been a lot worse, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he said it was garage kept the whole time he's kept it. So. But he had the build sheet on it. It's a true Z28 with a monthly 4-speed. And the motor's not original, obviously. But we're going to paint this car, not right now, but later on. Because he wants to paint it the original color with black racing stripes. And I don't know if you can see it on that side over there, but around the window right here, you can see a darker silver. And that was the factory color. It's got black in it.
I can see it right there.
But this here has got a white base to it. That's the reason it's a lighter gray or silver.
It's more of a silver instead of like a charcoal.
And another way you know they didn't know what they was doing, this right here is where your trunk hinge is. I mean your trunk spring that holds these spoilers up. So it's got 2 different or 3 different settings on it. So if a car has a spoiler on it, The spring has to be in the lowest setting, that way it's the tightest tonk to pull up to hold the deck lid up. Otherwise you got to prop it up with something. And they urethaned it to the car, so that's a no-no. You just can't do that, not get away with it. There's going to be consequences and repercussions. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave it alone. It'll give up in a minute. But we're going to make a new package tray and then put some new speakers in it. And I'll cover the other package tray that I make in vinyl. That way to match the seats.
Fancy.
But this way we'll be done with the interior part of it. And the only thing I'll have to do is just paint the door jambs when we go to paint it.
You're going to go ahead and clean all that right there out and prime it at least?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that door, that's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm priming it now. I'm gonna paint it black. So whenever I paint the car, where whatever paint don't get down in there, it'll just be a black shadow around the back glass.
Which will make it look like your thing too.
Yeah, so nobody be none the wiser. Except people. I just told on camera. So y'all don't tell nobody what I'm gonna do now. And that's that.
What a mess.
Now we gotta vacuum it out. Yeah, I'll sand that right there like we did on the white Dodge Mopar car we did when we put the windshield in it. And I used the last of my primer on it, so I gotta go buy some more. But we'll just prime that edge and it stops. This is not rusted. I mean, it's rusty, but it's not rusted. So we'll be able to seal it off. And we'll be good to go. So like
It's caught just in time.
When we paint it.
Other than the catch panel.
Alright y'all, I'm going to show you a little trick. See, we got the headliner all in it. The new cars have a black ring around the window when you purchase them. These didn't, so whenever you put the urethane on the inside the window, if you look between the trim and the side of the car, you could see the uneven urethane lines. So what I always like to do is buy this stuff here. It is windshield primer. You can get it at any of the part stores, made by 3M. And you get a little cotton swab that goes with it, and that's what you apply it with. So the way I do it is, you can still see where this is dirty. So there's about a 1/2 inch of reveal from the window to the chrome once the chrome is put over it. So what I always use is a 3/4 inch tape, just like so. And I go along my edges, and I'll just make the tape flush the outside, and I'll take a black marker or any color marker and make me a line every so often. Or if you want to, you can make a solid line. It don't matter. Your preference. On the curves, you might want to make a solid line. That way you can get the curve laid in right. And then on the bottom corner here, since this is a compound corner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it roll a little bit inward. So it's going to be fatter here than it is anywhere else on the window. So I'm going to make my 3/4 marks, like so. And I'll get another piece of tape and I'll straighten that up when I get done. Okay, once you get all your marks made, I'll put a couple more down there to make it look consistent. All right, once you got all your marks put on, then you take your tape and you run it to the inside of your mark. That leaves a 3/4 inch reveal on the outside. But like I said, your tape's 3/4 inch wide. And all your curves as you go, make sure you tack your tape down, because there's not a, it'll pull back off because it does not like to stick to glass. I'm going to tell you that now. And neither does that black marker. So if you touch it, you're liable to lose your line. And I'll show you what I'm going to do right there on that corner here in just a second. This is not necessary, but to me it makes it have a better looking job when you don't see the urethane all mashed out and squiggly up under the glass. This gives it kind of more of a uniform look. All right, right there on your corner, you get a coin or something. I'm just going to use the bottle top to my primer here, because that is an odd shape, so you're not going to find nothing to make it perfect. But if you connect both sides of your bottle cap to your line that you made with the tape, and just round it off like that. And then just take a razor blade and cut it. Don't put pressure on your blade because you'll scratch your glass. You just want to perforate the edge of the tape, is all you want to do. Just remember, whatever this line looks like, that's what it's going to look like on your black. So any type of straightening out you want to do, you need to do it now. Any corrections you want to make, go back around and make sure you got all your corners. Because once you put that on the window, to get it back off is a challenge. And then you're going to scratch your window all up. Because the next step is what is the most critical. And that's going to be actually sanding your window. So you just get a piece of Scotch-Brite or sandpaper or whatever you got. And you're going to actually etch the glass with it around the outside edge. So you're going to add even more scratches of what's already there. But you can use a Scotch-Brite pad. Anyhow, the trim's going to vary a little bit, so the trim's going to make it look crooked. So no matter how hard you try to make it straight, there's going to be optical illusions that don't make it look right anyhow. So as long as it's close, that's all you need. And if you'll notice, you can't even tell where they even scratched it. But you don't want to use lacquer thinner or nothing to clean this. You just want to use regular Windex. The reason you don't want to use lacquer thinner is because the lacquer thinner is going to make the side of the tape be soft on your tape line. So that when you go to paint it, you're going to have a fuzzy looking edge. So you want it to be as straight as possible. Like I said, you set a little whoop-de-doo right there. The trim's going to have a bend in it, so it's going to throw it off anyhow. So it ain't got to be perfect. So now once you get your glass prepped, and this glass is in bad shape. Once you get the glass prepped, then you want to prep the back window sill of the car, because you're going to use the same primer on the back window. But I'm going to have to prime this with automotive primer because it has rust in it. So I'm going to go ahead and sand it, prime it with automotive primer, and then we'll put that on. She had to get a battery. Y'all was done wore the battery out already. Alright. Tomorrow we're going to town to get some Luan. I'm going to redo the package tray, so I'm not worried about it. Nobody up here has the composite cardboard, so we'll have to use wood, and I'm going to put vinyl on top of it, so it'll be hid. Nobody will never know the difference. I'm going to tape this up because I don't want all of our stuff to get on our trim on the inside of the car on our brand new headliner. But what we're going to do is we're going to sand this area. Then we're going to prime it. I'm going to paint this black to match the inside of the car. Then I'm going to take and use my swab that I put the primer on the glass with, and I'm going to put the same primer on this. So this will have the same primer as the window. And then the urethane will bond both of them together. We found the wheels he wanted for the car. They're right there in front of her. So we're going to be putting some tires on them and sticking them on there. It's the original factory Camaro rallies. Back in the day, they were painted the same color as the main body of the car, but we're going to do a little different paint job on this than the factory did. So. If you sand your area real good all the way around. I'm gonna retake this, but just put that on there just for ha-has and giggles. But you can see whoever painted the car, they let the paint, they didn't scuff the area around the trim, so the paint's coming off. So all I'm going to do is make sure I got that feathered in. That way when we paint the car, it don't come back off with us. All that's from where the window wasn't sealed up. So we're going to take care of that.
I have had a migraine today, so I don't feel like talking. So I'm not narrating too well today.
No, my narrator's not narrating.
I'm ready to go back to bed. I think these lights are making my head hurt again.
But just scuff all your areas up. Y'all know how to do that. I'll get this done and we'll bring you back when we're going through the steps of prepping it. For the windows.
Well, we've got the car prepped, taped up, and now he's spraying the self-etching primer. Got all the rust and the paint and old glue off of that, so we can put the new windshield in there.
We'll let it sit for a minute, see what it turns out to be. If it don't do good, we'll go to round 2. Well, we got all this painted black. Got a pretty good coat on it. So now we're going to stick all of our trim clips on. And then we've got to take and put our panel in. It goes here. We cut it out of Luan. And we're going to put a piece of vinyl, black vinyl on top of it. And there it is. So we'll cover it with black vinyl, then we'll put the speakers in it. But once we cover it with vinyl, at least we can put the back glass in it, and the speakers can be put in anytime. So I'm going to go ahead and put the clips on, and then maybe she'll be able to come out here and video. These are all new trim clips we're sticking on it. And they just snap right over the top of the little clip holders right there. Right there. Right there. And right there. So I'll get this done and we'll be right back. Paint's so shiny I can't see.
You took all the plastic clips off?
Yeah, they originally come with metal clips, so I'm putting the original parts back on. And if you ever have any of these that's missing, all you gotta do is take and put a screw in the middle of it and bolt it right back on. I've had people over the years, they would tape them on because it's, oh, the thing was missing. And it's like, well, all you gotta do is put a screw in it. You have to put tape on it.
Does he have new speakers, or we gotta find him some?
I gotta find speakers and a stereo. He wanted a cassette player, and now he wants a CD player. So I'm gonna find him a CD player and stick in it. That paint's so shiny I can't see them little things sticking up in there.
So after you get these put on, we're gonna work on covering the wood.
Yep, I'm gonna cover it, and then once we get it covered, it can be stuck back in. I don't like to have the speaker sticking through the things. Normally I take and put a hole punch and punch. Come on now.
Always gotta be one.
This one I picked up by the floor. It didn't want to go on there. That one fell right on. But go was saying that.
The speakers.
Oh yeah, I always take and draw my circle out, and then I'll poke little holes into the vinyl. That way, it's not the speaker's not sticking on the out the back window. I didn't ask him how he wanted it done. He then came and went.
Well, we'll finish these up and move on to covering that next.
Yep, bring you back in just a minute again.
Well, we went ahead and got the vinyl cut off camera. We're going to spray the adhesive on the board now, and then we're going to spray some onto the back of the vinyl too. Just using black vinyl so that it matches the interior of the car. Got the heater going tonight. It's a little cool in here, so we've got that going so that the paint and primer, everything that we put on the around the back glass will dry faster.
Always spray your edges double heavy because you're going to constantly be pulling on them whenever you're trying to stretch your material. There again, when you spray half and half. Well, you know you got a good coverage. Now I can still poke little holes in that if he decides to go that route. From the bottom side. The reason I like using Luan is it has little bitty cracks in it where they roll it off the tree, and that helps the glue to soak in, and that gives us somewhere to hold on to. But you're gonna have to lay the camera down and come help me with this because that don't weigh nothing. So
all right, be right back.
I'm gonna be fighting myself.
Well, we're back. He's cutting off the excess there. I already sprayed the glue so that it can be wrapped around the back side of the wood there.
And the same thing like the headliner right there, you want to cut that corner off of the angle. My Aunt Pat did a poster work and she wanted to teach me how to do it. I never would learn. She did Dottie West's tour bus and Kenny Rogers. But never had time to. We had the towing service and all going, and just wasn't no extra time to take time with her. But she's no longer around, so we'll never know what she knew now. If you just roll your edge inward, it'll kind of take care of itself. I'm going to have to split that right there because I ain't going to be able to smooth all that out.
Scissors are still over there behind you.
Alright, now right here, like I said, since you got the width of that, you don't want to cut all the way up against the edge of it, so you want to get out here a little bit. Cut it at an angle. That way you still cover that up whenever you fold that corner up. It'll cover up the wood and hide it. And then I've got to make another piece that goes on this to go between the seat and this panel here. That's a filler panel. But voila! Now we just need some goof off to get all the goof off. But you can come back, there's a speaker hole right there, you can see. In right there. So you come back and you take a little hole punch, and you just punch a little bit of holes in it, that way the sound can come through the vinyl. Because that's so thick, sound won't come through it. Alright, we've got to make this panel here. This is actually a filler panel between the back seat and the thing, but it's sewed to this. So instead of sewing it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take our vinyl and roll it over and just adhere it to itself right there. So you see right there where they sewed a ridge to it, and they sewed it to the cardboard itself. They didn't even glue it, they just sewed it back to itself. If it wasn't ripped right there, I'd just glue this to that. It's got a tear in it. But it does go down behind the seat, so really all you're going to be seeing is this part right here, right?
I don't think so.
What do you think? Screw it to that like that.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll work.
That piece there goes behind the seat, so I think it would hide it. So all you're going to see is this right here, just like that.
Just put a little extra adhesive on them corners. I think they will stay in place.
And I can glue this right here back. The fly was doing, trying to attack me.
He's probably
Stoned out of his gourd.
getting a little woozy from the glue. He don't know which way to fly.
That's going to sit for a minute.
Oh, it just came off.
Yep. I got it all wiped down and got the goo going on it. So all the goop is off of it. And it's ready to go in the car. So how do you like that?
Looks professional.
That there straighten up after it gets in the car.
Now it smells like citrus instead of glue.
Instead of gluish.
Now it's a little thicker.
Yep. Screw in that and that'll hold that down. Pull this side back. I'll talk to him tomorrow about the speakers. Like I said, that can be done at any time. And then this here goes behind the seat, but I think I'm going to have to take the seat out. Get it to work right. Maybe not. But once the sun gets on there right there to tighten them up if we don't cut them out. So you won't be able to see them. Either we cut them out and the speaker be there, or either the sun will get a hold to it. One way or the other, you won't be able to see it no more. It'll be gone. So now all I gotta do is put our screws back in, and it'll be like we never did nothing.
I guess we can get all of this untaped now. And move on to the glass part next. Now he decided to go ahead and put the 3M glass primer on here. We looked everywhere for the little wool daubers that you're supposed to put this stuff on with. We've got some somewhere, but nobody around here sells them, and we didn't have time to wait for a week for shipping, so we're using the paintbrush very carefully. You just gotta make sure it doesn't leave any bristles or anything in the primer. Even the paint supply company that we bought this primer from didn't even have the daubers in stock.
Some people will probably never even recognize this is even done. But if you ever go to a car show, I ain't saying critique people's stuff, but if you ever go and start looking at how stuff's put together, and you see somebody who's took the time to do this to their windows, it makes a big difference. As long as you ain't scratched the glass, the stuff will come back off. But if you've sanded it, like I did this edge, then it's hard to get back off. But if it just gets on the raw glass itself, and the glass hasn't been prepped, it will come back off of it. There's some fast drying stuff, so it don't take long to get it on and get it done.
Looks good to me.
Do the inner channel of the car. Like I said, all the thing this does is it guarantees adhesive. It acts as a binder between your urethane and your car. So you're guaranteed to get a seal.
And a runny nose.
Yeah.
It smells pretty strong.
It definitely gets your sinuses working. But as you've seen, we painted all this, so it already has a coat of actual Rust-Oleum enamel on it.
And then primer before that.
Yeah. I had to use my piece of paper for back here over yonder on the vinyl. So I'm having to be careful, because if you get this on the car, it will definitely stain the paint job. Before this dries hard, you want to take and pull your tape off. You can still see the black marker marks. That's what that is. But that'll come off with Windex. Sharpie marker marks. This here don't come off with Windex. And you always pull it back towards itself, just like over there where it was heavy. That way it'll bring the material with you instead of piling it up onto the glass. And now if you wanted to tint the window, since this is a contoured window, now would be time to do it. That way you're not fighting with the contour once it's in the car. There you have it. We've got a black surrounded window. Do we have anything in here that's got a black surrounded? You can see on the front window right here. You can see the urethane right there. Where it's glued in. And that's what it looks like, is that right there. And that black strip is what we just installed. See right there where the glue is, you can see. Well, once you put this on there, it's going to come into that about a ½ inch. So you won't be able to see that. It'll be a perfect surround around it. Makes it look more up to date or finished or something. Yeah. So we're gonna let that sit there and finish curing. She can show you right here from the back side what it looks like. When that sits up, we'll put the glass in and we'll bring you back and show you what the finished product looks like.
All right, we've got the back glass in and all the trim back on. So that looks a lot better, especially with that package tray being remade and recovered in there. It all matches the interior now. So that's all we're going to do for right now. At the moment, anyway.
He wants to put these Camaro wheels on it, so I think we're going to stick them on there. That way he can smoke the tires off of them because they're dry rotted. So, be something to do. We got to put a trunk pan in it. Which the black car, we got to put floor pans in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to order a whole pan kit and split it amongst the two vehicles. I got to finish the inner trim right there, but we'll let the window set up and then we'll do that. But somebody bent the chrome because the glass had problems, so we can get new chrome for it. The top piece was off when we got it. You can see it's got it looks like an M. So don't know what all went on there, but anyhow. But you can see the belt mold around it. It's got that black trim that we put on there. And it gives just a little bit of accent to it. Like I said, if you didn't know it was on there, you probably wouldn't pay it no attention.
But now you know.
But if you want to put window tint on it, you could roll the window tint to that. It looks like somebody's trying to scrape ice off of it or something with who knows what. It's got some scratches in the glass, which they can be buffed out. But he ain't looking for a 110% show car. He's just looking for something to drive. So if we can get the paint to where it stays on it, and that was a factory paint right there. And it's got a, see how dark it is versus this. This is a white color, that's a black color. So we're gonna go with the factory color. See, that's a darker gray. So we're gonna go with the darker gray, and then we're gonna put black racing stripes on it. And then since the hood's got the teardrop in it, we're gonna put racing stripes on it, but I'm gonna have to come get inventive to, or creative to make the racing stripes look good around that. So
that's gonna be a little farther down the road.
But this gets it back to where it's together and can be driven, and it's waterproof now. And it looks a whole lot better. But I gotta get in the back seat and put them trim piece screws in there.
He might be able to roll to the show this weekend.
Yeah. Never know.
There's a couple going on, so why not?
But these are the wheels he wants, so we're going to, still got to buy the trim ring for him. But since the headlights are blacked, I mean the headlight buckets are blacked out and the black trim and all, I think we're going to paint them black. That way it kind of accents the car with the black racing stripes. But we'll see what he wants to do. But that's the end of this episode. So thanks for watching. And I'm not going to put the tires on it because I'm not sure he wants to do that. That's just, if it was my car, I'd get him out there and roast them off because they've got knee deep in tread. But they're dry rotted, so they don't do no good. But they'd be good to burn off out there. But not my car, so I can't do that. But thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all sticking around to the end. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. And there's going to be some more of this content coming in. Plus, we got another 5 or 6 wheel it runs, but we just have to kind of do what we can do at the time. But this one here was already running. Check out the Dixie Customs Extra. Check out Facebook. Check us out on Instagram, Lemonade, TikTok. And remember, sitting on your projects, leave dents in them. Thank goodness this ain't mine. And we ain't sitting on it. And we ain't left no dents in it. But there it is, y'all. Catch you on the next one.